it's Mandy from Mandyleeplays, and for today's video, I'm going over all the games that I have beaten in the last 3 months. This will cover April through June. So in total, I beat 5 games. All of them are JRPGs except for one, which is a wild card. But it's not me alone. Please let me know what games you have beaten in the last 3 months in the comments down below. Also, hit that like button if you end up liking the video, and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We officially hit 11k subscribers, which thank you very much. I truly appreciate all the support. But with all that, let's get to the actual games. The first one being Pokemon Fire Red. This game I streamed with you guys and I loved it. It was fun to go back where it all started. And even though when I streamed it, it wasn't my first time, I played the original games so long ago that a lot of the memory with it kind of vanished. So it was really like playing the game for the first time. Although I did wish when Game Freak announced the port for this, they would have added some quality of life features, but they just literally ported the game to the Switch for $20. But honestly, $20 well spent. It was fun. I loved it. I didn't go for the Pokédex because who has that kind of time anymore? And playing through the game makes me realize how, I don't want to say it's better because it's an older Pokemon game, but I can see why a lot of people really love Pokemon by playing Fire Red. The game really captures the pure essence of what made the series fantastic, proving that you don't need weird gimmicks or an open world or anything like that to succeed. So it was really nice to go back and see what made Pokemon the way it is. And it was a bit difficult, not gonna lie. I mean, not too difficult, it's a Pokemon game, but you actually really had to learn your type matchups, and the game didn't give you, oh, this move is effective against so-and-so. And plus, since there's no XP share, you have to grind each Pokemon one by one. I will say, newer Pokemon games, I love that they kind of got rid of the HM moves altogether, but in Fire Red, you kind of have to have them on a Pokemon to get around some places, especially Victory Road. I didn't really like that, but otherwise, Pokemon Fire Red was fantastic, and I do hope that they do this with other Pokemon games like Black and White 2, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. I'll be on that day 1. So for the next game that I beat, and that is for X Nordics Proud version, and I played it on my PS5. And for anyone who doesn't know, the Proud version is basically the complete version, kind of like the Persona 5 to Persona 5 Royal. And yes, I'm still annoyed about that, but now that the dust has finally settled, and I actually completed the game. And honestly, the story was actually really good. It had a lot of Norse mythology into it. I feel like in every Ys game, they tackle some sort of mythology going on. Plus the pirate or Viking culture, that was nice to see. Our side character, Karja, was a really good character, but not gonna lie, the story got a little bit weird towards the end, but overall, they executed it really well. But for me, the biggest praise has to go to the gameplay. It was so good. At first, you're gonna get a bit confused, and it's gonna take time for you to adjust to it, but once you get it down, it is so freaking fun. So essentially, Adol and Karja are linked together because this magic mana thing. So you and Karja have to sync up together to perform different moves. You could create a block with both characters, and they actually attack on their own as well. There's a heavy emphasis on mastering the guard and parry mechanic. And when you're blocking, you could also fill up your revenge gauge, and that helps you unleash a powerful attack. Honestly, it's one of my favorite combat systems in a Ys game, and I do hope in the next one they'll do something different but still have that amount of creativity when it comes to the combat. Although I could do without the boat maneuvering. I did not like that as much as I wanted to, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world, especially as the game goes on, you get new upgrades that help you, but it was kind of my least favorite feature in the game. Although the Sandress, which is what the boat is called, did become a home for me a bit when you get more crew members and shops start to open and different facilities. It was a very cozy experience. So yeah, Ys Nordics Proud version is probably my second favorite Ys game. The first one still being Ys 8 Lacrimos of Donna, simply because it's very nostalgic to me and I just love that game so much. But Ys Nordics is a close second. So now that I beat the game, I could confidently say that the Proud version is probably the best experience, but the original version is still good too. It just doesn't have the upgrades and new side story, which honestly the side story wasn't that good. So new people wanting to get into the series, I highly recommend you start with Ys Nordics and then move to Ys 8. which is my favorite. Although you might get tired of tropical islands. The next one is actually the wild card I was talking about earlier, and that is for Pragmata. Pragmata actually really surprised me in the best way possible. Like seriously, Capcom has been cooking. Although they do need to work on key cards, but I'll give credit where credit is due. And it's great to see that the effort has been paying off and that they can really take a risk with newer IPs. And we desperately need some new IPs, not gonna lie. But moving on, Pragmata is a third-person action title where your protagonist is not just mowing down different enemies for the fun of it, but instead you play as Hugh, who's currently the lone human left on the moon because the rogue AI went crazy and everybody else died. Hugh managed to get away with the help of Diane, and she is a Pragmata. Name drop. But what is a Pragmata? Essentially, a Pragmata is a specialized android with the ability to hack various systems and manipulate Luna filaments, which is this weird substance that could copy different things. The best way I could describe it is a giant 3D printer, and it could 3D print a lot of different things. But thanks to the rogue AI, it has been going haywire. So for the story of the game, honestly, it's what kept me going. The gameplay is awesome, don't get me wrong, but the story was just so heartwarming, and it's not a long game either. Now, the gameplay for this game is a bit unorthodox, so to say. So essentially, you have to hack the enemy first, because if you just hit it with a regular weapon, the different ammo would just deflect off their armor, making it really impossible for you to defeat the enemy. But that's why you have Diana, and her ability to hack these machines makes them really vulnerable to standard attacks, so you could just get rid of them easily. So for Diana to do her thing, she puts up a hacking minigame. At first, I thought this inclusion would be a lot because you have to hack each of the enemies, but once you get into it and get used to the hacking, it becomes muscle memory. And plus, you also do get add-ons that help you with the hacking process to make it even easier. Overall, it was just really fun. And I don't know if it's just me, but this game feels like something you would find in the PS4/Xbox 360 era. You know, when games back then got really quirky and fun. To me, Pragmata feels right at home with those type of games. I love that Capcom not only made a new IP, but made that new IP have a unique gameplay mechanic. Genius in my opinion. Overall, it's such a good game. The story is heartwarming, nothing too complicated, a father and daughter duo thing going on. It is so adorable. And I love that this game had a shelter or a hub world that really ties everything together where you could upgrade stuff, relax and vibe. That was really fun. And I really hope that Capcom continues to invest in its original IPs with unique gameplay because we honestly need more games like this. Oh, and hey look, another Capcom game, because now we're going to talk about Monster Hunter Stories 3. Overall, I really enjoyed this game. It is definitely my favorite in the trilogy, but I honestly feel like the game could have been a little bit better, but I'll get to that. The Monster Hunter Story series is basically more narrative driven than the regular Monster Hunter games. And while the story still has that Saturday morning cartoon vibe, they really ramped up the stakes in the third game. Although some of the twists and turns were kind of predictable. So in the story department, they could have done a bit more with it than what they did. I love the different worlds in this game. They are so pretty, and the different stuff you could collect. Exploring these areas were always fun to me. And the level of detail with the monsters is amazing. And when they hatch from the egg and they're a tiny version, it just looks so cute. I mean, try not to say aw when you see a baby Magnamalo. The thing is so angry, it's adorable. But then they grow up and you're like, ew. Now the battle system is like the other Monster Hunter story games where they use a rock, paper, scissors approach. Basically like playing a guessing game, which is not the best for combat. Honestly, it kind of got annoying to me the more I got into the game. It's kind of gimmicky in a way where it's not even good gimmicky. I feel like they should tweak it better in future Monster Hunter story games. The gameplay isn't hard by any means, but it does get hard. Like the final boss battle, I had to do that thing so many times. I spent 2 days trying to kick that monster's butt. It was so hard. And the game could be really stingy when it comes to hints. But other than that, everything else in this game was fantastic. The exploration was great, plus the new monsters that they added. And I really did love the habitat restoration system, which basically has you collect different monsters in that area and then add a new monsters so they can inhabit that land too. And plus, the more you use the environmental restoration system, the more perks you get when hatching an egg, with really good genes and rare attacks. And you can even use the environment to influence monsters' elemental affinity, for instance, and their appearances shift as well. At the end of the day, I really loved this game. The only gripes I had were some of the gameplay mechanics and certain stuff in the story that felt really predictable. Now for the game that I really did not like, and that is for Ys Memoire, Revelations, and Celceta. I actually streamed it too if you want to check those out, but this game at first I really liked, but it really grated on me. The story was boring, the characters were boring, the environment was boring, and it's actually my least favorite Ys game that I've played so far. But the setup was pretty solid. Ado has amnesia, you need to get into the forest and map it because it's so dangerous. And the mapping out process was actually pretty fun. And this dangerous forest is actually not that bad. It's weird. It's just a weird concept to build up the forest as a dangerous place and then it just be like a typical forest. And the whole aspect of losing your memory is really lazy, especially when you learn the reason why your memory is lost. And some of the motivations for the characters make no sense either. Like, they're not really explained, it just happens and you're just like, you want to elaborate on that? Why did you do that? Like, they lock Ado into prison twice for such a stupid reason. It basically boils down to he has red hair, he's different, grr. Ugh. I will say that the gameplay is really fun. It has the classical Ys combat. You could rotate 3 different characters at a time, but you get other party members along the way too. And plus the inclusion of mapping out Celceta was really fun and satisfying. Anything that's detached from the story is actually pretty fun. Anyways, so my biggest complaint has to be that the game was just very uninteresting and boring, especially after the fantastic adventures of Ys 10 Nordics. It was such a contrast, and not because the graphics look different, because the story is different. And plus there was no doggy. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know all the games that you've beaten in the comments down below. It could be 1 or 10. Please hit that like button if you liked the video and consider subscribing if you're not yet subscribed. And again, big thanks to reaching 11K. I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and as always, play a good game. Peace, peace.